Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to, it's a week late, the Hypnosis Hangout. We were supposed to do this last week, and well, things got in the way. I had like a wedding, and it was mine, and anyhow, things happen. So I apologize, this is a week late, but we are doing the Hypnosis Hangout now. And so welcome, everyone, if you're tuning in. Tonight's topic is, does the law of attraction really work? And I had to think a little bit about this title because in my mind, the law of attraction cannot work. It has to work. It's all it does, because pretty much in any law of attraction thing, what you think about is what you become. What you think about is what's going to happen to you. So just in a nutshell, if you have a lot of negative thoughts, you're going to manifest some negative stuff. And if you have a lot of positive thoughts, you're going to manifest positive things. So one of the things that when it first came into my radar, where I was totally completely aware of it, is my husband now was on Wheel of Fortune about 14 years ago. He was in an episode, and I was watching it, and he, had a video of it, and as he's spinning the wheel, I noticed that he got a bankruptcy, and then he got to lose a turn, and it was pretty upsetting for him, because here he gets on Wheel of Fortune. He's a bright guy, and but the thing is, what he was thinking of the whole time, he's like, I don't want to lose a turn. I don't want to lose a turn. I don't want to lose a turn. I don't want bankruptcy. I don't want bankruptcy. And sure enough, the law of attraction does not process negatives. And so the lose a turn and the bankruptcy came to him. And this all has a happy ending. He did walk away with $3,900 back in 2009. So it did work out for him, but it was still disappointing for him. He had hoped to do better. He's smart about these kind of things, but I think he realized later somehow that what you think about is what you become. And here, all those things manifested when he was doing his Wheel of Fortune. So I found myself doing the same thing when I was manifesting stuff in my comedy career. I had certain ways of looking at how I did comedy, and if I went into a show and I thought, you know what, I love everybody in this audience and they're going to be my best friend at the end of tonight, I would have an amazing show. But if I had anything going into a show with me when I was doing comedy that was negative, that would prevent me from focusing on my intention of the show, I would find that I would have a substandard show. So it's pretty much, no matter what you do, the law of attraction is going to happen whether you want it to or not, because what you think about is where your energy is going to go. So every day I get clients in here, and I'm like, well, what do you want? And they're like, I don't want to be stressed anymore. And I'm like, that's great, but what do you want? How can we say this positively? And if you're one of my clients watching right now, you'll know I do this. What is it that you want, and how can you say it positively? So if you don't want to be stressed anymore, what do you want? Would you rather be calm? Would you rather be serene? Would you rather be less freaked out? Because whatever the intention is, whatever the suggestion is that I give you as a hypnotist, is pretty much what's going to happen. So if I give you suggestions, you're not going to be as stressed out. You're not going to be as stressed out. The stress is still coming through. It's still going right into your unconscious mind. And because your unconscious mind doesn't really process negatives, it would be far better to give, my client or you a suggestion that says, I'm calm, I'm serene, I'm peaceful, I'm feeling happy. And it's just so important to have these things going into you, to have these positive thoughts. And the problem is that we are all wired for survival. And so when something happens to us that sucks, we don't want it to happen again because it was painful for us. So our unconscious mind becomes on high alert for the stuff that sucks. And this is where we screw ourselves, because that's where the law of attraction kicks in. Because even when you're on high alert for stuff that sucks, then you start attracting it. I remember when I was going through my divorce, and I kept saying stupid stuff to myself like, gosh, now what? What's going to happen now? And sure as anything, I ended up needing 2 crowns. I broke both of my little toes in a move. I had all kinds of bad luck because I kept saying to myself, oh, great, now what's going to happen next? Instead of manifesting what I did want, I was just this disaster drama heap. And I didn't mean to be, but I had just experienced so much stuff that sucked that I didn't want it to suck anymore. So it's pretty much like lose a turn. I don't want to lose a turn. I don't want to go bankrupt. I don't want all this crappy stuff happening to me anymore. And guess what? It just gets piled on. So once you realize what thoughts you're having that are attracting the crappiness to your life, it's time to write those down so that you can stop it. What are the crappy thoughts that you're having? What are the things that you're saying to yourself that's getting in your way? So I have clients every now and then that says, oh, I'm a horrible sleeper. I'm bad at math. And write that down, okay? If you're a crappy sleeper, okay, you can write down, I'm a crappy sleeper. Now you know what you want to move away from, okay? So instead of being a crappy sleeper, what if you started telling yourself, I sleep peacefully. I easily put my worries away so that my body can rest. Rest is important to me. These are all different conversations to have with yourself, and I'm a crappy sleeper. I have a rough time sleeping. I have a hard time falling asleep. All negative. If you start telling yourself, I fall asleep easily, I can rest and rejuvenate my body every night. I easily sleep for 6-8 hours, whatever that is for you. It's a whole different life. The thing is, you have to go through and do this with each and every thought process that you have. And one of the things that I see is that nobody starts out their life wanting to think negative thoughts. Nobody starts out that way. However, they grow up in it. They're surrounded by it. A lot of times people just grow up in an environment where they're surrounded by nothing but negativity, and it's hard to stop that. But just as you can't help growing up in negativity, once you are aware of it, now you can take the steps to stop it. And that is definitely writing down every negative thought that you have about yourself, every negative thought that you have about others, and start manually rewriting each one of those sentences so that it's positive. I had a client, I'm bad at math. Oh, I'm just horrible at math. Really? Are you truly horrible and bad at math? Or have you just not learned the skills to make you better at math? Have you just not invested the time to make you better at math? These are different conversations to have with yourself, and that's a far better way to look at your math skills than I'm horrible at math. I know I had fudged up a problem at some point, and I started telling myself I'm bad at math. And as soon as I started telling myself I was bad at math, I kept having more bad math things happen to me. And finally I was like, all right, whoa, stop. I am good at math. I can be better at math. I just need to spend a little time brushing up on the basics. Simple, simple, simple stuff that we can do, but you have to know to look for it. You have to know to think of it. So I hope this was helpful for all of you. This is just a little quickie thing. I'm going to see if I can find I'm always so terrible. Look at me, I just did it to myself. Anyhow, if you have a comment, go ahead and throw it in the chat if you would, and I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. If you have a question for me, I am happy to answer that for you. And let me see if I can find that. Okay, no comments from the audience, so very cool. Anyhow, I thank you for watching. And if you do have a question, feel free to email me. You can email me at tracy@wingshypnosis.com, TRACI, or you can also send it to wingshypnosis@gmail.com. And thank you so much for your time. I will chat with you later, maybe a month from now.